There's a humbug bandwagon that makes its rounds this time of year. A lot of Christians decide to jump on it. I'm sure you're familiar with it. I'm sure you've heard it. Usually it starts off something like, "These days Christmas is just too commercial. No one knows the real meaning. It starts earlier every year. Pretty soon we'll be having Christmas in July." Well, bah humbug then. And no doubt, this criticism has some merit to it. There are people who see Christmas coming with giant cartoon dollar signs in their eyes, and you can see Christmas lights popping up on the shelves as soon as the trick-or-treat candy and the costumes get taken down. It's kind of interesting because as Christians, we also bemoan the fact that our church has kind of lost its status within our culture. And it's true that for many, church used to be an ingrained habit. Whether this translates into a deeper sense of holiness, I don't know. I do know that real holiness tends to defy conventional methods of measurement. And still, Christmas is often lifted up as a prime example of how culture can water down the sacred when it can get its hands on it. But I don't know. There's something strangely appealing to me, at least, about being able to turn on the radio and rock around the Christmas tree one moment, and the next moment hear a pop star sing about a silent, holy night. The same pop star who just got divorced again and has children in rehab, if you believe the headlines of the tabloids and the checkout line. Cue the voices. See? All that singing about heavenly peace was just all song and dance. Well, maybe it was. But maybe not. I mean, Christmas does have a spirit to it. And this Christmas spirit is strangely accessible to all kinds of folks from different religious experiences, economic strata, or ethnic backgrounds. It has a way of reminding us that the world really could be a better place much of the time. And we don't just have to be resigned to that. So think about this. What other time of year does that single guy at the office, the one with the new car and the new girlfriend every 5 minutes, actually participate in a clothing drive for the homeless and make a donation to charity? How do you know it was only for the tax deduction? Might not it be possible that, though initially pressured into it, he suddenly became aware of a piece of himself that got lost along the way, and now its cries to be found could no longer be ignored? And what other time of year can the Salvation Army be featured center stage at the halftime show of a nationally televised NFL game at the modern version of the Roman Coliseum, AT&T Stadium in Dallas? And yes, it came with a yodeling pop star whose clothes revealed more skin than the usual November fashion statement. Culture and Christmas, all thrown together into the blender and turned on full blast, baby. And if you feel like the pop star didn't fit, try this on for size. Imagine the bishop having a special dinner with a bunch of elders to hear a special lecture from Jesus, and suddenly they're interrupted by a working girl who breaks in, maybe even with her work clothes still on. She makes a scene by crying all over Jesus' feet. Or how about this? Before you can leave the hospital after having your first baby, a bunch of smelly homeless folks who live with their animals stop by the maternity ward to give you and your newborn a congratulatory visit because they received a message from angels. Or what if, when you finally got home, there were some foreign dignitaries in your driveway with cash and gifts for your baby, and they determined the GPS coordinates of your home from the astronomical calculations they've been working on? And there's page after page of stories like this, stories that have become so familiar they've lost their shock value. His whole life, Jesus attracts folks who don't fit into the picture we want to see, like iron to a magnet. Kings and shepherds, mistresses and holy men, weak and powerful, poor and rich, sick and healthy, shallow coworkers and pop stars. Jesus and culture all thrown into the blender and turned on full blast, baby. Do you know why that is? Because Jesus loved the world. You know, it's funny because we forget that sometimes, that Jesus loved the world. I don't mean the world that might one day be redeemed. I mean the actual world. The one filled with triumph and tragedy and generosity and greed, violence and mercy. You and me. Make no mistake, he tried to change it, but he accepted its unacceptable parts, because buried beneath all the unacceptable parts were unacceptable people that he was willing to accept. The Romans tried to transform the world with swords. The religious establishment tried to transform the world with guilt. Jesus believed that the world could be transformed by love, that we could be transformed by love. Jesus loved the world, and we should do the same. Could we build a community around that? It would make a weird picture, wouldn't it? Like shepherds and wise men, angels and animals, all gathered in a barn around a baby laying where the animals usually eat. And the whole nativity picture surrounded by really busy people in a really busy town doing really important things. And we're really looking for the real meaning of it all. Sound familiar? Culture and Christmas all thrown into the blender and turned on full blast, baby. Maybe Christmas in July wouldn't be so bad.